There is nothing. Only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it. No larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it. You got it, sweet brother. Nothing upon nothing upon nothing. Coming right up, sir. Smooth passage. Alright, nothing town to fuck all borough. Great choice, Elder One. It has always been like this, and it always will. The song of death is sweet and endless. But what is this? Somewhere in the sore, bloated man meat around you. A sensation. Like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again. It wants to walk the desert, hurting, longing, dancing to disco music.
You can take it. You're a champion.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache. A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarion call from hell.
This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. Or has it been consigned there as punishment? You feel as though this creature is your friend and wants to reattach itself to your neck so that you may continue your adventures together in this strange world. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap. It's released from the blade. Warning, warning, the necktie is no longer contained. What you have in your hand is a fantastically colorful tie with 4 or 5 different patterns. A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically feel the photons burning a hole. The lights are off. A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fierce discharge of masculine energy, someone has ripped half the faucet off. Hot water sprays from the base, and suddenly you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. Really, all recollection of the person you are, the people in your life, and even the world you're in has drowned in a sea of blood alcohol. This was no mere night of drinking. It was a deluge as you slowly reach your hand towards the surface of the mirror. Abort. You clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it. Where to even begin? There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like there's an upholstery of alcohol underneath your skin. Bet you are. Your nose feels like a small balloon in the middle of your face. It hurts when you honk it. It doesn't appear to be a particularly tiny nose either. It's not. It's swollen and snail-like, wriggling between your... Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? Too late. You clearly have rigor mortis on your face. Or wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary anymore. What does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? Please promise yourself you are not going to try it on any of the ladies, whatever happens. You liar. You can't even tell the truth to yourself. Go ahead. Try something. Like the rest of you, it comes from a bad place somewhere in the past. That's all you know for now. It's too late. Like an image on film. The expression belongs to your primary motor cortex. It would take a minor neural... The window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside. A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, more likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling a tool back in after it. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. The single green shoe you found fits the hole almost as well as your foot. Congratulations. You smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, a cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl. the fan is spinning, the blades come squeaking to a halt. You hear a jingle. Keys are, it says, whirling in rags on the aluminium keyring. There is a single key.
Hello, officer.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips.
No.
There's only one solution to this. You're a businessman.
Because you're a police officer, sir. I'm not. Unless you've been shitting us all this time. You've been here for 3 days. Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking. Could it be because of the drinking? Don't be so harsh on yourself.
A glib remark. Don't let it stand. Assert yourself. Retreat is not a winning tactic.
Of course. Be careful, officer. They don't like the police around here.
She looks back at you, a light glinting off.
Goodbye.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit. Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette stub, still smoldering deliciously. How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that, a carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied, then smoke them all.
The idea seems to make your neck expand. Suddenly, the garish
Or you could not do that. No one is making you. Good. They'll make you stronger and better. You're too old to be cool now, but find cigarettes, smoke them, blam. Instantly a cool renegade man, a mystical red dragon with smoke rising from his nostrils. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses. There they both are, two identical shoes, both copiously green and indiscriminately snakeskin. It's pretty clear a normal cop is not good. They're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good thing about you right now, truth be told. You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast, oceanic soul. Utterly. And it through a PA system by other people. You have not yet stumbled on the right lamentation, but it's out there. It'll come to you. You will wreak havoc with it. No, don't sing the happy song. It's stupid. You have to find something tragic to sing first, though. You have not yet stumbled on the right. Serves them right. Wipe that smirk off their face with your sad, tragic song. Who's laughing? You have to find something tragic to sing first, though. A man in his late 20s stands behind the counter. That was disdain in his eyes. Even now he's purposely ignoring you.
Oh no, you're a hero.
Could the massive property damage upstairs have anything to do with this?
Yes, you are. Or what did you not do? First you took the body down, then you solved the murder, then you didn't trash my hostel room. Maybe you even negotiated the strike. You're right, you didn't, and it's only taken you 3 days not to. No, I haven't seen you around. I'm not always here.
A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of coasters. It looks like the bird was ripped off the shield. That something about it makes you feel bitter.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you, concentrating. A bespectacled man in an orange bomber jacket is tapping his as you approach. If an assault were launched on this building right now, if the windows came crashing down and the whole world descended upon you, this man would hurl himself in death's way.
Hello, I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 57. You must be...
You realize he's wait. This is your chance to come up with a really good name for yourself. Get creative. Conceptualize. Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau. You instinctively run your hand over the multi-patterned silk of your tie.
Don't worry! Raphael Ambrosius Cousteau is one classy name for one classy cop.
Yes, well. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday. Saturday too, actually. Have you had time to talk to the manager here? If you don't mind, we should talk to him again. Ask him for a rundown of the area. It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? Right. And the interviews? At the 57th, we like to prepare an initial list of persons of interest, and then just skim the surface. Prepare the field, get to know the players. You don't do that? Okay, we'll have time for that after we take a look at... Have you removed the dead body from the tree? Mm-hmm. So,
This is the first time you detect a weariness in the lieutenant's voice.
where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk now. But I have seen officers go through worse. Much worse. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our number. Talk to the manager. Then we go out back and take the body down. After you, officer.
If you're about to embark on an investigation, shouldn't
You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a short way.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can talk.
The man with the unimpressive beard notices you approach.
Mr. Gart, right? You run this place.
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41... Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call us and report the dead body.
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who...
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
You said you just got here. From where? Are you a local?
What, of Martinez? No. I live in Jamrock. I only sometimes come here to keep an eye on the place. This is just one of the many, many cafeterias I manage.
But you still know your way around, yes? In case we need directions.
Yes, I know where some things are, but as I said, I don't live here. I just used to work here. And I'm not going to start working here again, if that's what you think.
I didn't imply that. Detective. I have everything. You?
Yes, yes. He means, do you have questions for me, like a police officer would? She went away because none of your business. Extra fine.
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
No one is saying the multi-pattern necktie you found tied to the ceiling fan can talk. No one. It must be merely imagination. But
Let's bail! Time to push the eject button! Sounds like a responsibility! You don't like those!
no, don't listen to him. It's madness. Just talk.
Oh, excuse me. You owe me 130 real.
The IIR, or Inter-Isolary Real, is the global reserve currency. Whatever part of the world you're in right now, it's safe.
Wow, you're a genius. Yes, that's...
Who does that clown think he is? Arrest him! No one is saying that! No one is saying that Ty can talk! That would be ludicrous! It's just that you should arrest him! It would be wiser! He wants to take your money!
The lieutenant watches you fiddle with your horrific tie.
If you don't have the money, it's okay. None of us are in this for the way.
That's Cop 4. I haven't offered to pay because I don't have any money either.
Let's see. 3 nights at a tariff of 20 real comes to 60 real. Then there's the window you annihilated. Another thing you've annihilated is half the bar. You've run a tab of 30 real. Actually more, but we'll round it down to 30 for your hard work maintaining the stability and order of Revachol. That's 60 plus 40 plus 30 equals, what are you, a philosopher? Money is what grown-up people use to pay for things. Things like this hostel room, or 8 bottles of potent blend, and 9 packs of Royal Extra. We use it for everything, really. Yes, it is. No, you see, that's 40 cents. Cents are a form of currency 100 times smaller than the real. I'm not even going to take this. Come back when you have 130 real. It is.
For a moment, his antipathy is overcome by compassion for the sheer smallness of the money. He demonstratively suppresses a world-weary sigh.
I'm sorry, but he has to pay. I can't let him stay here any longer if he does.
Officer, maybe you are better off working this from home for now. You live in Jamrock, right? It's not that far away. Officer, you really need to take this up with your station. I have a shortwave radio in my car. Call them.
Good luck.
By the way, where is home? The address. But you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3 nights. Where were you before? You don't really know, do you? A vague, blackened image doesn't sound like somewhere you can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time.
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
Why, you are, officer. And have you found anyone to be sweet to? You rascal. I'm too old for you, and too married besides.
Your advances haven't thrown her off one bit.
You must forgive me. I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend Gary just down the street, but I come here for tea when they're away.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Yes, officer. You look rather dazed.
She won't judge you, no matter what you say.
Oh my. You know where we are, right? That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria itself located? We're in the city of Revachol, dear. How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is the most beautiful city in the world. We're fortunate to be here, you and I. I haven't seen very many other cities personally, but everyone says so. Revachol is a rare jewel. This city used to rule the world, though it has seen better days. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes? That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen.
Her relief is palpable.
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Oh, sweetie. It's really not. There used to be people who thought that way. Other people who wanted those things, but they all went extinct. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign powers called the Coalition. We have almost no government of our own, and certainly no dictatorship of the proletariat.
But they still have cops.
Oh dear, this is troubling. You really ought to know that, being one yourself. There aren't any cops in Revachol, but we should stop for today, sweetie. You look like...
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
Someone more educated in sweeping matters.
No, I'm not an encyclopedia. I won't be a guide either. I'm a detective.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people are educated. Though I don't know where you would find a wealthy person. Yes, dear. I'm a paraplegic.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries, like falling from a great height, or a grenade explosion.
That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions.
There is no bitterness in her voice. She accepted the curiosity her condition inspires a long time ago.
Of course, dear. Good luck with...
Yes?
No response. He just arches his brow.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal...
There is a sudden, harsh edge to his voice, like he's tired of hearing about your personal affairs.
Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation. Focus on other people's troubles, not your own. That is a relief.
A moment passes. The lieutenant glances at the sports watch on his wrist.
Kuno's got this!
Oh yeah! Nappa Gumpy, Kuno! Right in the dick, Kuno! Get him right in the dick!
Love it in the dick.
The boy is sweating profusely. His eyes are like two black holes and his jaw is twitching as if trying to break free from the empire of his body. The kid is obviously high.
Fuck that! Kuno, yeah! Right in the mouthful!
They pay you no.
The rake, Kuno! You should throw
The fuck? Does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener. Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you got. What you got there? What you got, huh? Show me what you got. Shitload pig.
Don't tell the pig shit, Kuno! Pig's choking! He's totally...
If I were to want to waste my time, which I do not, I would ask them who he is, how he got there.
You have no idea what the usual is. Just ask whatever comes to mind.
Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road. You heard Kuno. Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno, I don't know. Some fucking... Mesk or I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City. Yeah. Kuno didn't smoke him, if that's what you mean. Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for target practice. Your test.
Get lost,
Kuno
The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around you seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell seeps in even through your clenched nostrils.
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer. No one is judging.
He's about to blow! Cock's gonna blow, Kuno!
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant and more familiar than anything you'd expected. More fever than... Too late. It's until a pool of vomit lies under your feet, and you'll...
Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. There is Frit nearby, east of the hostel. They usually have a small apothecary. There's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling rack.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry.
An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material eaten. It's nothing. Someone just left some roofing material slanted against. Because it's nice and orderly. Well laid. No. There's more to this. You get this straight. Hard to say. It's gone now. There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12. What do you think you are? A super detective? You're hungover. These are just dents in the mud. No pattern emerging. This trash container is locked. There's something in there. Not necessarily connected to the case. The body is downwind from here. Maybe you prefer the smell of garbage to the smell of death.
Trash? Food waste from the cafeteria? They lock these containers to keep the derelicts from flocking in. Could be... What do you mean, feel? We could try using a pry bar. There's one in my motor carriage, or we could ask for a key from the manager of the Whirling in Rags.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? We don't see a lot of police around here. That, of course. What can I help you with? Sure, I'm done with it. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache, of course.
Her gloves. You get the feeling that you need them. You have a dead...
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is in... Pneumonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of you. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Nor does the wind right now.
The weight is reassuring.
I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it considerably harder. I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Every Monday, then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there, if you didn't bag the thing tight in. I think I've lost my sense of smell. Not being hungover helps too. That's probably a good idea. Clear our head. You need to get your shit together. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go...
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come...
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East. This coin-operated viewer is facing southwest. Its coin slot is full of fossilized bubblegum, rendering the machine. The metal feels cold and wet under your palm. It looks unhygienic.
Probably some kids.
A thick layer of graffito covers the lenses. You spell out the word Onug, written on the other side. With N and under the graffito, a sea of blues and greys appear. Behind the water lies a coast, studded with concrete and reeds. The church looks old and weather-worn. There are no lights in the... This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The instruction...
Yes?
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book? It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards, and some board games. It's called Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold your horses, little girl. You're fooling nobody.
Sir, are you okay? You've been standing here silently for a while now. Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any questions you have. I hope they're about books. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. She's inside minding the register or organising the stock. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance...
A sudden gush of wind turns the pages of the books on the counters. She covers her face, smiling. But she's cold.
Kind of you to offer, sir.
What could you do to help her anyway?
Oh, no, sir. I'm happy to help Mum by luring in customers. Besides, I have some hot juice in my vacuum bottle to keep warm.
This Post Lavatorie mail collection box has been heavily vandalized with graffiti. The box seems happy. Eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also. The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even. So do you. And then suddenly, you see it. Over all the other graffitos, someone has, using the tip of a very sharp knife, cut the words, Revachol forever. Before you stands a motor carriage. Vapor emanates from the This must be the infernal machine that tore you from oblivion. In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook, a pull-out toolbox under the seat, and the soft glow of the frequency tableau lights up, and a green button labeled Prime Line, the soft purr of electrical kittens.
This is Precinct 57. Hello.
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st Precinct here. I'm putting him on.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5. This is 41st. Come in. Over.
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large white rectangle sewn on his vest. In front of him is a box-shaped apparatus with
10-4, what's your status? Over. 10-18, 10-20, over. State your message, sir. Over. Ten-9, repeat message. Over. 10-4, message received. This is very...
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to...
He what? He lost his badge?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you think?
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost Identity.
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a fictional detective. Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
Ten 4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you're in...
Fuck me! Mac, come here!
What's going on?
Super Cop here lost...
He lost his badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
He asks you to please...
Why? Did he find it?
Sergeant Orson was wondering if you found your badge.
You don't have a comeback.
He's not replying. Looks like he's still looking for it. 10-9, come again. I didn't get that.
New Heights even...
Ask him. Ask...
Sergeant Orson wants to...
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where it is, do you? Okay, it's gone.
Don't sweat it, Bratan! You don't...
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
Even before you can get the words out, everything gets scrambled in your brain.
He says he didn't lose his gun.
Ask him to describe it. His gun!
Satellite Officer McLean...
Oh! Request a description, huh? We'll give him one. Describe the plasma gun.
He says it's just...
Sounds like he's been...
Detective Mullen has done it again.
Dear God, he lost his gun. This isn't real.
Macam faced a giant of Coco Noor by himself. But Disco hit.
I'm not going to.
Ask him.
Sergeant Orson here is wondering if you are still in possession of your genitalia. Over. That's a negative.
What's he say? The prick ate Mama's vanilla waffles at the captain's birthday party.
Sure.
Shut up, Chester. This is... Tell him to apologize.
Sergeant Orson requests that you apologize for the claims you made about his mother. Over. He says he...
Okay. Tell him to find his goddamn bed.
Satellite Officer... 10-4, affirmative, office.
Oh, God,
Officer, do you need further assistance? Over.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. You're going to be looking at a straitjacket.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question.
What? What is it?
He wants to ver...
But of course, it says...
Tell him to stop.
What do you need, sir? Over. Understood, sir. Over. Roger that.
18 kilometers to the south, in the 41st Precinct's relay booth, a small crowd has gathered around Communication Officer Jules Oldboy Pidier. The small room is filled with cigarette smoke, abuzz with laughter, when Officer Judith Minnow enters. Her left arm is in bandages, and her hair trimmed short.
What is going on here? Did something happen?
What happened is my partner made contact. It's not good. He's lost his bed.
Mac, the torso Torson, is finger-fucking his fist, laughing hoarsely and apparently telling some dirty
Yeah, Mullen was fucked, alright.
Yeah, Mac's right.
Enough! None of this is funny. It's fucking...
We must help him.
Yeah? How do you fucking plan to do that, huh? Get him off the drink? Go jogging with him in the morning and get him on courage?
I just know we can't give up on him when he's at his weakest. He wouldn't.
Mac, man the door. You know what he told me? I don't want to get better. I want to get worse. Those were his words. This shit does not leave this room. Not a word of this.
I guess I can hold off the report for a few days.
Good. Okay, everybody. Nothing but a prank call here.
Far north, on the other side of the motorway, the officer quietly hunches with his hand in the motor carriage. Volumetric ship compressor. Bizarre scientific news from Revachol West today, where a police officer's shit has been observed at a pressure of around 495 gigadecimals. These metallic hydrogen levels of shit togetherness were thought to exist only at the center of collapsing stars, not law officials. It remains to be seen how long the shit singularity lasts.
Hey there. It's the jam, my man. It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight, no explanation given. Workers on strike, scabs agitating, an all-around clusterfuck. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon days. Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil and the fumes and mazout. Yeah, imagine. It's been a whole week already.
Behind the laugh.
So tell me, what do you need? He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff. The man taps his fingers rhythmically.
Oh, high-grade narcotics.
Time to arrest him.
Ha! No, I'm joking, my man. Found runs a nice, clean business. This haul of cargo is mostly sporting goods. You know, tracksuit. They usually get shipped to Grodd and the Occident. Though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. This rockin' beauty. Sure is. Like a rash you can't get rid of. You interested in heavy-duty cargo machinery? Neat. For carrying large quantities of cargo a long distance. These foul tracksuits need to find their way to the kids.
There it is again. A little touch of sadness beneath his cool. He thinks he spent too long in this lorry. The man taps his fingers.
Nope, don't smoke. Some of the other drivers do, though. There's still a few around.
Yup, nothing wrong with that statement. Your senses have nothing to add.
You could also check the kiosk down the street. Frit. With 3 T's. Revachol's weird.
Ease into it. Don't go too far. This seems like a personal matter.
I'm okay, man. Just... the jams got me down. The few...
Maybe the full-on, direct approach wasn't correct. Damn. It's tricky business looking into someone's eyes and not doing it wrong.
It's like, whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demands. Some pretty wild stuff, I hear. Like a giant new power crane in half the company? I forget what exactly. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town, too. Like...
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching. Anything else? Yeah, us lorry drivers. Camionneurs. If you still hang around here waiting for this mess to end, most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Or laid. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days. I prefer the examined life now. Thinking, reflecting, observing.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one's ended, you can get onto the next one.
Don't be a stranger.
Welcome to Revachol.
Don't you welcome to Revachol me. My grandfather came here from a 3,000-year-old racist isolationist culture, while your ancestors came to this island a mere 300 years ago. Every school of thought and government has failed in the city, but I love it nonetheless. It belongs to me. It's men like you who keep Revachol divided, making it that much harder for everyone to climb out of this post-war limbo.
Oh, come on, man. I just said, welcome to Revachol.
I know exactly what you meant. You think my kind doesn't belong here. But you see, I'm an officer of the RCM. It's actually my job to make sure you behave. I would advise you to remember that.
Silence. The air, your partner needs backup. Now's your moment to shine.
You two make a key.
The lieutenant exhales and resumes.
Whatever you say, officers. It's about biological determinism, natural. Not the most popular topic nowadays, with the coalition in charge, you know. You might want to change the topic. That is, bury your head under the sand like common sheep. Suit yourself, officer. Hide your face in the sand if you... Oh, not much anymore. I'm here to pick up some cargo, but the dock workers are on strike, so it's a... The strike? Oh, they've been at it for a while. A month. 2 months, maybe. But this here is just the last week or so. Apples. Yeah,
He's given you the runaround. Let's be honest, you were bested.
No.
He's got a smoke right there, in his fucking hand. Snatch that shit out of his fat fingers. You need it after listening to his gut.
It's my last one. Why would I do that? I'm an honest man. I bet. Sorry I couldn't be of any help.
Bastards! We have a right to work! Hold up and stay frosty, everyone. Cop.
You here to fuck with us? Beat the honest worker down. Good. We're fighting for a cause here. Besides, we're not that different. It helps if people see us talking, cops and strikebreakers together. Shows authorities are on our side. Builds confidence. Rights of people. Rights of workers. To have. Might be time. Don't let the fat bastards tread on you. I don't trust cops, but I can see you understand the... Right to work! Right to work! Maybe you should ask them the questions. We have families to feed, you piece of shit.
So do we, Scott.
Honest men and women, with rights, to work, to be useful, not talk. We came here to help the harbor run smoothly in time of crisis. If Union fucks don't want work, they ought to let in those who...
I have a question. Why do all these men...
You think they follow because I'm big and loud? No. They follow the rules of the market. The rule... We were promised work. We'd be in there, working. If the bastards... Main gate's locked. Would take heavy ordnance to bust it open. Could try to get in through the secretary's office. And I don't mean the scrawny mess punk either. I mean head measurer. Or whatever he is. Huge Seminese guy standing up there on the overhead passage. Won't let anyone by. The bad. Standing on a narrow bridge, he's got a strategic... I don't know how the Union has a trained killer up there. But that one's no joke. And why don't you go arrest them?
It would be better for the neighborhood if you went home.
No! They will give up eventually. Or get drunk. Have fun. Union shits are on full strike. Don't think they're going to let you through the gates. I'm trying to meet their fat... I know nothing about a murder.
The mention of a killing sends a barely noticeable shiver of tenseness through him.
What are you talking about?
Yes.
Right to work! It's shameful. Cops doing nothing. You should bring backup. Open up the gates for us. Blockading gate...
We are not picking a pity.
You've been talking to him for quite a while now. Something is off with this guy. Ask him where he's from.
What's it to you? Am I a suspect? Done no crimes. I only fight for the rights of people. We're all workers, right? Workers stick together. Came from the eminent domain, in Jamrock. Backgrounds in odd jobs, heavy lifting, cargo hauling, bouncer work. I know the drill. Worked at Territorial. Ring a bell? Uh-huh. It was a long time ago.
A lorry stuck in the traffic jam. This big, heavy Grad-made machine. The windows are clear. They've been recently washed. You can see a lorry. The driver has adorned his space with a substantial collection of peculiar paraphernalia. Proclamations about honor, strength, and the back end of the cabin has a small perch to sleep. Large ashtrays.
Racist nationalist paraphernalia. Not unusual in this part of town. This is our guy. Likely, yes. This guy's proud of who he is. Drapes it all over his machine.
Old monument stands in the middle of the traffic island, pointing toward the sea. It looks as if it's been reassembled piece by piece. Secured and mounted, a silver plaque on the statue's pedestal reads, "I am Philip III, the Squanderer, the greatest of the Philippian kings of Revachol, son of Philip II, the opulent, father of Philip IV, the insane." Not a good track record of mental health in that family. What did he do? You have no idea what you did a week ago. How would you know high above you the king stands triumphant? Small, wrinkled woman does not greet you. She nods along to something. It's the warmth of a winter night's fire. Maybe she could give you comfort and shelter. Some cigarettes and food. No response. Wherever this woman is, your words fail to reach her. Nothing. Her smile just...
Wait. She's just a distracted old woman. Better to leave her alone. Why? I just told you.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look overly comforting.
We can sit on benches after.
You can revisit the bench if you...
All around you, rain falls on the great city of Revachol. Rain drips from the eaves and floods the gutters, washing the filth away. The spring thaw must be here. The snow is melting. Looking up at the sky, cold water dripping from your hair. Grey sky like great battleships, clouds colliding with one another. Rain falls down on the world. Your shirt sticks to your chest. The shoulders of your disco blazer grow heavy. The cold finds its way in under your skin. You shiver, and the city shivers with you. You're not dressed for this weather. You should get an overcoat or a patrol cloak. Sheets of rain over the water, a flight of stairs leading into the ocean. Wave after wave washing the coast of Martinaise, with its motorboats and gently swaying reeds. The ruins of a half-sunken sea fort crumble on an inlet beyond the Bay of Revachol. Ghosts rise into the sky. Urban coastline, rain dripping off Eternite-covered roofs. Cinder blocks left over from half-finished construction. A defunct research and development building, once seized by revolutionaries. An old wooden church stands on stilts above the water. Coal City, end of all lines. The skyscrapers of La Delta, the financial district. Faint golden light seeps from the office windows. Will you ever go there? No, you are just one of the hundreds of thousands who watch them rise across the bay from Martinez every day. Your hair is an oily mess flecked with ash from neighboring coal plants. Smokestacks rise somewhere in the distance. There's a frit on the corner. A plastic coat is folded into a small triangle under the counter by the window. Beyond that, the strikebreakers have gathered. The great gates of the industrial harbour are locked. A chill runs down your back. You shudder like an animal trying to shake water from its hide. You shudder, looking down at your feet. 2 green snakeskin shoes stand at attention on the Capeside apartments. Tower blocks crowd one another. 4.46mm bullets still lodged in their war-torn stone walls. Hallways collapse from the mortar hits of a war that was lost long ago. Clotheslines go to waste in the rain. Radios play. A yard. Rain falls onto the roof of a woodshed. Coal leaks into a puddle beneath a dead man's feet. He swings from a tree, bloated. Droplets of rain slip from his cold cheeks. A traffic jam. Rain thrumming on the roofs of motor vehicles. Inside, drivers watch water streaming down their windshields. The statue of a king shudders. He too is cold. The canal bridge has been raised. The road ascends. A raised motorway loops above the ghetto. Beneath its concrete columns, a sea of rooftops, woodwork, and tar stretches northward. 4-story buildings as far as the rain can fall. The snows melt in Jamrock. Revachol is the capital of the world. Jamrock is the capital of Revachol. Droplets form on your eyelashes. It's home. On a street there that flows like a muddy river in the snow, with fire traps rising on either side. A film rental opens its doors to the rain. An armored motor carriage rushes past the corner, where you used to walk together. Suddenly, the hair on your back rises.
You cannot return.
To be in Martinez, where no one goes, at the runoff point of a long-forgotten canal, in the whitest part of town, in the shadow of the day the revolution failed. Standing in the rain, looking north, where Jamrock Rock City stretches inland.
Have a brother in the cut. Where the wood at?
In the rain-swept distance, above the rooftops of Jamrock, a repurposed silk mill stands perched above the motorway exit. Precinct 41 hunches in the rain. Your vision blurs. You wipe your face with your hand. The rain stings your eyes, making you look up and blink. Coalition aerostatics hang like apparitions under the cloud cover. Way up there, where rain forms, rotors flutter silently. Your sight clears. Collapsed storm drains, old sewage systems flooded with rainwater. Hidden weapon caches from the revolution. Doors leading down to Le Royaume. The catacombs to which, for 3 centuries, they delivered the blue-blooded dead.
This rain will not let up anytime soon. You should get a raincoat. There's a frit to the east. They sell them there.
Life doesn't need to be a struggle. I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish my sandwich. Talk to angry old René first.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back every time you bring out the measuring tape.
René, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please, let's just try to enjoy the game, all right?
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're old. I can see that. We're both old. Now stop grabbing your ass like it's a girl.
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. Don't... No, you got this. There's the ball. You're the game. You are immediately surprised by the ball's lack of weight. No, God, this is right. You feel the familiar tremble of excitement and adrenaline that precedes every victory. The cold metal ball is surprisingly smooth against your neck. It has a pattern on it, probably a sponsored ball. Yours would only be covered with bumps. Already your muscles are adjusting to the weight, the nervous system calibrating, until you and the ball have merged into a single entity. The man ball is ready. A chilly breeze ruffles your hair as you stand there, feet firmly planted. All sounds, smells, even the wind, everything fades until the only thing left is an embodiment of pure motion, a fine-tuned locomotor. Some would still say you're a cop, but I guess we're beyond that now.
Merde! Bordel de merde! What the hell is your problem? I don't care if you are a cop. You do not just ruin someone's game. It's so goddamn... You vandalized our game, son! We can't play pétanque with 5 bull! Yes, pétanque! You ruined...
Take it easy, René. This is just a...
Of course there's harm done, you orange slug! You are as a goddamn bull! Good. Mistakes are forgiven when men at least try.
Just talk. It'll smooth things over. Old people like attention.
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about assisting law enforcement. In Martinez, the union is the law. So can you really cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen. On the contrary, if I knew, I would not be afraid to tell you. I simply don't. I'm an old man, not a coward. The daily business of the riffraff no longer concerns me.
This is a man with a lot of past, but little present, and almost no future.
Yes. The terrain here provides an interesting variety to a familiar game. Yes. It was left by heavy artillery. Why what? Because that's what happens when communards hijack your country, execute your supreme leadership, and turn your capital into a slaughterhouse. You use heavy ordnance to clean up your home. Commies, communists, socialists, anarchists, call them what you like. They just chose the name to feel special. Sadly, no. It was the foreigners who brought them to their knees. We fought valiantly. Should have fought dirty, like they did with their suicide sex cult propaganda and mad anarchist women strapped to shrapnel bombs. We didn't though, and we lacked caliber. God bless him, but the suzerain's cannons simply weren't big enough. Because this place is a damn beachhead. Had to soften the commies up. Yes, the military coordinated amphibious landing to take...
He finds your lack of historic knowledge troubling.
Martinez was used as one of the 3 footholds in Revachol during Operation Deathblow in 08. The other 2 are off in Stella Maris and the Delta. This here is Blood Ground, where Coalition boots first made landfall and cleaned those rabid dogs out. Most likely, we're playing pétanque on their mangled corpses.
Blood Ground. You got old René going there. Like he isn't hungry enough already.
Damn right, son. They laid the fire of hell on the city before they stormed it. The rest of the city got cleaned up, but Martinez they keep as a monument. And now the Union Socialists are practically running the place.
Well, it's your own damn fault. You, we, the Coalition, Revachol, whoever you want to blame, never finished the job. Officially, the party never surrendered. Of course they still hold influence.
You don't even begin to truly understand the players of the table, let alone the specific circumstances surrounding the... What do you think? I'm sorry it had to be them. After 8 years of fighting those hyenas, boiling cats for food and drinking piss, I would have preferred if the Right Honorable King Guillaume returned to Revachol. Or even if that damn clan Frissel had risen from the grave and led...
This royal failure...
Instead, all that is just, holy, and beautiful in the world was wiped away, and now it's neon signs with toothpaste ads everywhere. Foreign influence peddling garbage and stupid music on the radio. This is just what the commies wanted. This was their plan all along. This is what they wanted to replace the role of the suzerain with. A true king in both blood and mind led Revachol before Frissel. He would have been better, but the damn commies drove him into exile. Damn Frissel. He was a king we couldn't protect. The Carabineers failed him, and the crown. He died in the hands of the Hyperlay, in a very public execution. The suzerain is the king! Has everyone forgotten already? They've forgotten already.
Soon, they will forget everything. Him.
It's no use talking to you. You were still in Daddy's balls when it happened. When we took our last stand against the Filth and rode the cavalry straight into gunfire. Ah, yes! King Philip III, on his steed. A reminder of what Revachol once was.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant who emptied the treasury so he could sleep on a bed of gold.
Cocaine? Cocainum? Sounds like our kind of king. And just imagine what kind of cocaine a king would have had.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a true king. Someone who knows how to rule decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood. nation is only as strong as its leader. That's why it was such madness to try to...
Don't get started on that again. What happened, happened.
The Carabiner doesn't reply, but his entire being. No one and nothing can change this man's mind. He is as rigid as they come, still in that antique uniform. It's a symbol.
Oh, old Philip was a big fan of the purple nose candy the nobility loved so much. A cocaine connoisseur of sorts. His egocentricity is borderline legendary.
You can't even take responsibility for yourself. How could you fathom the responsibility weighing on the shoulders of a ruler? That's why the Philippian kings use cocaine, for clarity of vision, to aid in their work. Regnum cocainum, Revachol's finest years.
I'm satisfied with this explanation.
Of course. Clarity of vision. Awareness.
Philip III was even brought into this world with the help of cocaine. The court made him administer the dose to his mother when she was in labor.
Higher realms. Of course, it all makes sense.
It's really not. Please, do spare us the...
Yes, indeed. We're not here to investigate the drug trade of...
Right.
This is a wall on the side of an apartment building.
Hey, what's that noise down there? Can't get involved in this.
There must be another way into the building.
A sturdy metal door guards the southwest entrance to the apartment building.
The streets will flow red once more, a great torrent rushing down Rue de Esperance. You wait and see.
The streets will not flow red with it.
I'm Cindy the fucking Skull. What else do you want to know? Date of birth, blood type, the last time I was tested for Hep C. Ask away, pigman, but I don't promise to answer. I ain't no snitch, Pigstein. Go forth.
Actually, there is a shortage of people who talk to us in a...
We weren't put on this earth to make your life pleasant, fucko. Can't you tell? I'm paid. I haven't really started it yet. I'm waiting for the right words. Have you ever tried your hand at graffiti-o? When faced with a blank wall, most people write up. We rarely see pigs round.
She wants it to be something true and total.
This place is severely lacking in havoc. Not even the occasional trash can fire to break up the tedium. I thought I'd mix it up, you know, summon the forces of crime. Yeah? Thanks. I'm sure the inspiration...
You've lessened her desire to deface the building. The lieutenant furrows his brow at another one of your eccentricisms. Hatred, disgust. It's difficult to tell which of the two is more present in her girlish features. The woman on the boat.
That is on her. Someone's got to keep an eye on her.
Probably the Wild Pines rep. We should talk to her. She's a professional negotiator, though. I have the feeling you should take the lead. Ask her unexpected questions, you know? Do your thing. Don't be afraid to get a bit wacky. Throwing her off is our best bet.
Good idea, piggies. Run along now. Fuck her shit up good. And watch your back.
A striking woman leans against the cabin top of her sailing boat.
Good afternoon, officers. Joyce L. Messier. I represent the board of Wild Pines, the owners of the harbour. You gentlemen must be from the RCM. I'm glad to see you here. I was dispatched to handle a strike, not a lynching. Anything I can do to assist the...
That is good to hear, madame. My colleague will take the lead on this interview. I should let you know that he is...
How interesting. I wish you a swift recovery. In the meanwhile, you have my full cooperation.
It's hard to get a read on her precise disposition, but she appears helpful.
Everything. Right up to, but not including, trade secrets. I believe the official title is Senior Labor Negotiator. In practice, I'm a grocery clerk. I relay the union's demands to Wild Pines and return with Wild Pines' counteroffer.
And how are the talks?
They're not. That's the problem. The union stopped all negotiations a week ago, after that awful lynching took place. Now they won't even let me into the harbor. There's a 2-meter-20 racist behemoth blocking the gates. What can I say? The union employs a giant covered in tattoos. A racist giant. I guess that's part of their big tent organization now. Let's say I was not making the kind of progress I'd hoped for when I first arrived.
And when did you...
I arrived 3 weeks ago. Yes, in the middle of February. The bay was still partially frozen then.
But the strike began in...
I wasn't the original negotiator here. I took over after Mr. Gaumont hit a wall with Mr. Clare, the union boss. Mr. Clare refused to speak with Gaumont despite concessions he'd granted the union in prior negotiations.
This isn't the first time the union has gone on strike?
Heavens no. There have been 2 prior strikes. Both times the union won significant concessions, including overtime pay and a medical plan. This time their demands are more, I guess you could say, aggressive. There are leaflets everywhere, and banners. What did they say again? Every worker, a member of the board. Then you might also like their other slogan. Demand democracy. Personally, I don't think it has the same pizzazzo as every worker, a member of the board. It's quite simple, you see. Every time the Wild Pines group makes a decision, about what? About anything really, it needs the signature of each of the 2,200 workers in its Martinez terminal. Just so you understand, this is but one of 22 terminals owned by Wild Pines. Essentially, not only are they kings of the company, they are also kings of the 72,000 employees of Wild Pines Group. That may well be. It's not up to me to decide who is king, but as negotiations, I'm not sure. Naturally, I assume that was just their opening position, a hard-nosed tactic with a side of mockery. But there's been no follow-up, just the same nonsensical... And now, people are getting lynched, I hear. Behind the whirling in rags.
Excuse me, from whom did you...
I first heard it from the bowyer at the gates. The one whose very name advertises his aversion to work. I think he said it was, "Call me mañana."
This checks out.
Mr. Clare told him to... How did he put it? Fuck off, midget. Gaumont is short of stature, you see. Keep in mind, this is a negotiator, Mr. Clare.
Sounds like usual aggressive posturing.
The scabs? You mean the huddled masses of Jamrock, come to plead for work where the union refuses? If they were organized by Wild Pines or its affiliates, then it would be a company secret. I could not share it with you.
It's implied. She's open to discussing this matter with you at a later occasion.
Everard Clare is a man of the utmost integrity. If you can say one thing about him, it's that he always puts the interests of the workers first. Of course not. Everard is fantastically corrupt. I imagine he has a thick, viscous goo where you and I have blood. He is the most corrupt individual I have ever seen, and I deal with men like him for a living. If there is anyone more venal, more irredeemably nepotistic, then it's his twin brother, Edgar. Yes, Edgar looks exactly like his brother, except for that lazy eye. He also talks exactly like Everard does, and when one's term as foreman is up, the other takes over. It's how they circumvent the term limits, you see, with a funny little switcheroo. While in office, they've embezzled God knows how much of their workers' dues. The Débardeurs Union was once a perfectly normal institution. 20 years ago, anyway. It must not have been easy to establish under the Emergency Act, but they did it. I can respect that. Organized labor at its best, as they say. Then something happened in the local chapter elections. The brothers Clare came and transformed it into a... how do you say?
A mob. The Debardeurs are a crime syndicate. Sad as it may be, I suspect we'll be forced to cooperate with them.
Refreshingly honest, officer. The company has tried appeasing in the past, but I'm afraid our concessions have only emboldened Evrart and his brother. And your opinion, Detective, if I may ask? I'm a curious and talkative person, you see. Would you say the Debardeurs Union is... Indeed, and a hungry one. Sadly, Wild Pines have cooperated with what amounts to a crime syndicate for 2 decades. However much you feed the leech, I'm glad you asked. There was a woman, the previous forewoman of the Union. She disappeared.
Disappeared?
Yes. On the last day of the local chapter elections, her daughter phoned in and said she wasn't running anymore, or coming to work. Ever. End of story. Downright haunting, if you ask me. The Wild Pines suspected foul play. The point of the presentation is, these kinds of things happen around the Clares.
Thank you for your concern, ma'am. We'll be just fine.
Of course. How else can I help? Quite a few things, I'm afraid. The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41.
How curious. Why is that?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman does...
I see. So, are you saying you lost your badge during the course of this episode? Oh dear. I do believe you, naive as that may sound. I simply can't...
As I said, ma'am, his technique may be very unconventional, but he is...
Of course, I sympathize, but I'm afraid...
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort. Easy. Just offer her a favor, like I said.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want...
You're in, but expect her to...
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason.
They're profiting from this trade.
The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail. Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge, though if...
Detective, a word in private before we continue. This is not going quite as I hoped it would. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and not volunteer us to be her henchman. This woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced...
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
I'm sure you will, Detective. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters. You could request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months. No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. What I propose is, we ask her, Then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? This reality. Ah, yes. The...
Don't be phased, madame. He functions
We may be here a while then.
Alright, we're in. I know these all look good, but begin with the first, okay?
We're in Martinez, baby. Martinez is a district of Revachol. A very small district tucked away near the industrial harbour. Nor you would be excused for not knowing about it. Unimportant, they say. Forgotten, even. Shelled to smithereens during the Revolution. It has its charms, just not this time of year. I'm not a good ambassador. I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders. This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets. It's not really a sea, it's the Bay of Revachol. And the bay feeds into the ocean. Yes, we're on an island in an ocean. The world's largest body of water, the Insulindic.
Vast, lukewarm and unknowable, flowing in and out of sight.
Caillou. Imagine a pebble. A smoothed-over pebble amidst a great blue sea, misshapen, cracked. The cracks are the River Esperance. We're in the delta of this river, on the 6th branch.
It is clear this pebble is of enormous value to her.
Revachol? Revachol, the great...
As if it's self-explanatory, beyond
history detective. They built this city to resolve history. Our part in it, at least. Our centuries. In the DeLorean century. The nations of the Occident, or migrant workers from Seminine and Ile Marat, depending on your creed. They say it's where the terrible questions of our time will be answered. The tensions are highest, the fault lines deepest. By that I mean conflicts. Ideological... We are standing on a fertile, self-sufficient island able to sustain up to 200 million people. In the middle of the Insulindic Ocean, the world's connective tissue. It's where the money is. I think it's fair to say so. Martinez is about 22 kilometers from the center of the world. That soldering iron is the bank of the world building. The bottom floors are Insiacom. Coalition government, Insulindian Mission Command.
Silence. She lowered the water, the light. It's as though you're seeing it for the first time. There is no recognition, only the immensity of the sea and the cold. She observes your eyes, scanning. This is one thought you need to complete.
Was there something else you wanted to know?
This has been informative. Thank you, ma'am. I'm sure my memory... Might I suggest not asking them all right now?
Absolutely. My commitment here is long-term.
It's better not to eat all your...
Indeed. I'm always at your service. Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know. Anything else? Of course, Detective.